Hey, it's Filet, and you're watching Filet TV, the ultimate YouTube channel. I'm no cinematographer, just a dude with a camera. All right, this is part 6 of my brilliant light purple Dune buggy build. We just got a bunch of parts in, including a universal Dune buggy wiring kit. So this episode is going to be all about wiring up the buggy. So if this is something you're interested in, let's get started. All right, one of the first things I wanted to do was get the fuel pump installed and wired because the gas tank is going to go in soon. So there's all of that. A lot of ground wires. Everything needs to be grounded. So one of the things I did is I went through and made some ground wires to attach for headlights and turn signal running lights. Same thing out back. Grounded out the tail lights and the license plate light. And then here's what we're going to do. Normally I buy, the Dune Buggy Brothers wiring harness, but it's actually pretty bulky for what I need. So I went and ordered this kit off of Amazon. I'll leave the link there below, as well as these great connectors and these heat shrink tubes. So we're going to go ahead and get all this lined up, see exactly what it comes with. Wiring is super easy. I've wired up so many bugs, and a Dune buggy is not going to be really any different. So we're going to go ahead and get this set into place. We're going to run all our wires and start figuring out where we need to go. Then we're going to put connectors on it, and we're going to heat shrink them all, and we're going to make it look nice and tidy. All right, stay tuned. This should be a fun one. It'll be a long one, but it's going to be fun. I guess we should probably cover this up, huh? All right, the first thing I wanted to do was unwrap these and kind of just start stretching them out to see. All right, I lost the fuse already. To see what we have going on. And the way it looks, blue and white and red, this is all headlight. Most of this is going to be headlight wiring. So before we go anywhere, we're going to try and position where we want to hang this exactly. And then more yellow, brown, makes me think headlight assembly as well. Unfortunately, none of these are marked, but everything is simple color coded. Okay, we have ample ground wires, but a lot of these I already made. So those could be set down there. And they're going to make it nice and simple on this. Look at that. Everything is zip tied together nicely and spread out. So I'm guessing the harness is going to go this direction. This will be everything that will hook to the motor, tail lights, starter, and whatnot. So we're going to take a look at all that. I'm pretty sure that's the direction it's going to be. Or no, the other way around. Because they have short leads on here for, imagine heading to the key switch, the headlight switch. Okay. So left side All right, this is going to take a lot of thinking. I'm going to be back. All right, so this is what I'm using. Let's see if I've got a package right here someplace. No, I don't, but this stuff is also available on Amazon. I'll leave you a link for that. So this is just going to hold my wiring harness. And I see where this is splitting off the first time. I want to have that tucked up as high as I can inside here. So we're just going to start here and we're going to feed this all the way to the steering column. Well, if you guys are still watching, so this is what I'm doing. I'm going all the way to the end here. And then what I'll do is I'll put a zip tie to hold it all together because it's going to get bounced around a bit. All right, so anyways, there we go. We've got, this is going to run along the inside of the fender well. And then it's going to attach in here. I'll show you where that's going to go once I figure out what I did up here. And then we've got to wire all this through. So we're going to be spending some time crawling up and down underneath it. But we just have to do what we got to do. All right, a lot of wires there. All right, exposed. Okay, how this is going to work. As I know the white is going to be tail light. So that's going to have to go up in here without falling. So we're just going to put a knot in it. And the other side is going to go. So this is running lights. All right, if you follow me. White is running light. Then you're also going to have a lead out here for the license plate light. And here's the ground for license plate lights already in place. So this one's going to come through and be tied off. And here as well. Of course, we're going to stow all of this up here. Okay, so then we also have 16 gauge brown, which is going to go, is that right side? Correct, right side. And it looks like there's a 16 gauge red as well. We might as well send that because we got red is brake light. You can see there's a lead off of there for the left side. And the brown is going to be right side turn signal. So these could be pushed through this hole. Okay, so again, we'll put these in some sheets and zip tie them up into place. Once they're out of my way here. Got air cleaners and stuff I have to contend with. All right. Okay, so we have yellow. This is going to feed through this way. And also the breakaway from this red one. And it's simple enough. We're going to have this black is going to go to positive on the coil. All right, so that'll go there. The green is going to be for the oil pressure switch. So somehow that's going to come down to there. Simple enough. The blue is going to come along this and plug into the warning light there. This red one's going to get a connector on it. Oh, there you are. Oh, I forgot you were back there. This red one's going to get a connector on it, and this is going to go to the starter switch. This fat guy here is going to go right to the alternator, like so. And the last one is going to go from the alternator to the starter positive cable, like so. Whole back of the car is wired. Literally, got to put connectors on it, shorten them where they need to be, put it in a sheath, and we're done. All right, it's going to be a little bit more difficult up for the front. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off, get most of this buttoned up, and then we're going to move over to the front. We have to drill a big hole by the gas tank so we could run that line all the way up. Next step is going to be, I'm going to have to glue in a couple of tabs to hang zip ties so we could hang this wiring harness all the way through to the front. Stay tuned. Okay, even though I'm using shielded spade connectors, I'm still putting the heat shrink tubing over it just because I think it looks a lot better than having a red, blue, or yellow connector. It just looks a little bit more detailed. So I'm doing this throughout everything that's going to get plugged in right now. And again, like I said, link below to these little kits I bought. There's another one here. This is the coil wire. All right, I'll let that cool for a second. Okay, I've got more of this wire insulation sheeting that I've got. So I'm trying to tuck all the wires in here and then pulling them out of the side where they need to come and get hooked up to, like the alternator. And this was the warning light that I was working on next. So since this tubing cover is, this wiring cover is split, I could just have it protrude, have the wires protrude out when they get to that spot, and I just put a zip tie in between them to keep it from opening back up. Oh, I just pulled some loose. Okay, now we've got all that stowed. I'm going to put a tab. Well, once I get my license plate light in here, it's going to hold the rest of that harness up. This wire here is going to go to the back and it's going to clip into the starter. Like so. All right, last thing left to do is wire up this taillight, bolt these back together, and we're going to be good to go. Stay tuned. All right, last thing we got, a little bit of more melting of the shrink tubes. And there you have it. All right, everything's wired up. We got taillights, so we see we've got left turn signal, we've got brake lights, we've got running lights. This here is going to be license plate light. And then we have brown is right side turn signal, red is brake, white is running. Okay. Green is for oil pressure switch, it's hooked up. Black is for coil, it's hooked up. Blue is for generator or alternator warning light. And we have two reds. Now the only issue I have is that this one should have been about 6 inches longer. So I could stow all that. I know it's supposed to run across the top of the shroud, but I want to put it behind there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off and lengthen this one about 6 inches so I could stow all of this up in here where you won't see it. All right, that's basically it. Back here, we've kind of got it tacked. That's the worst part of it. But now my loom could come all the way to the front. I'm gonna make a hole right there and have it enter the cabin that way. And all of this will be stowed up real high where you won't see it. And we will be good to go. All right, let's drill that hole. Last time I had such a big wiring harness that I had to go through this way. But as it looks, I can go through here, attach it to my steering column, and I've got plenty of extra wire to be able to run to my dash and switches, and then use this as a point as I have to do the dimmer switch, turn signal switch. So a lot of those wires are in here. So this might be a good basis to make a junction. Unless I came straight through underneath and then made a junction there. Still on the side, undecided there. All right, I gotta take a little break, go run a couple errands, and then we're gonna come back and figure this out. Like I said, this is gonna be pretty simple stuff. Got a little two-sided tape holding this in place because I'm not sure if that's right side up, upside down, but I think that's the correct way it's supposed to go, as these are the headlights, high beam and low beam. I'll be back shortly. All right, the whole engine compartment is buttoned up. All we gotta do is hook up the starter. And then here we're gonna figure out what's going on. going to go to headlights. This is going to go to probably headlight switch. Those will also go to headlights. They have to feed in between each other. Let's see what else we've got going on here. Blue and white. And red. And that's got to be a ground for something. That green one, but I think I already have my grounds figured out. That's for the dash. And what have we got here? Left and right turn signals, brakes. This is going to go to the speedometer. There's another, I think there was a green one, oh yeah, for one of the tail lights. One side of the tail lights. And so this goes key switch. Speedometer. Here's the wiring diagram so you guys can take a look at it. Gives you the color codes, right? Gives you the wire size, gives you an example. All right, so here's what we did already. We got white for running lights, we got red for brake lights, we got yellow for left side, and we have brown for right side. We also did the alternator, which we use this down here, and then we hooked up the oil pressure switch, the coil, and the starter. Ran everything up to the front, and now we're gonna work in here. Really, really simple. All right, that's it for this one. Next one, we're going to tackle the front end. Start working on the speedometer, turn signals, and all that kind of stuff. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you soon.